What's up, you guys? I am Nia. Welcome back to my channel, y'all. I was just in here preaching to myself. I told you I'd be here talking to myself. That's what helped me find God in the first place, because I didn't even know I was talking to myself. I didn't even know I was talking to God. I was talking to myself. I be in here talking out loud because that's how I get it off. Like I told y'all in some of these videos, this is new for me. This coming to YouTube, telling my business, putting this stuff. I was a very private person, like everybody else be saying that word, private. Keeping a lot of things to myself, a lot of things bottled up inside, which in turn created a lot of bitterness, a lot of anger, a lot of frustrations. Keeping all these feelings, been taught since a child to shut up, stay in a child's place. Or when you do speak up, your feelings get invalidated. Oh, it doesn't matter what you think, what you feel, because you just a woman. You just a kid. They want to silence us as women. Everybody wants to silence us. That's the devil's work. To keep it all, keep it a secret. Silence you, keep it quiet. So in turn, I had to get it out. That's what a lot of times as a kid, our imagination come from. We be in these situations and we just want to get out of touch with reality. This is where these mental illnesses come from, for real. This schizophrenia, all this stuff, thinking these things, seeing things, because your situations be so traumatic and you living in it. You can't believe the reality. So you start to go off into la la land. You start to go off and think of other things. You really tap into your imagination so that you can see something outside of what's really going on, because this can't be real. This stuff I'm going through, this can't be real. The stuff that you're going through, you thinking, this can't be real. This can't be real. This can't be real. And that's why I'm doing this video, because I was just in here preaching, talking to myself, like I told y'all. Really communing with God, but I was watching my girl video. You know, and she was basically talking about Shantia. Y'all gotta go follow Shantia. That's my girl. I love Shantia. Like Shantia and Steph. I love Shantia and Steph. Like, but I was watching her. She was just talking about how, you know, this time next year, you could be in a whole different situation. And I said that to myself. I said, this time next year? This time next year? For all the ways they're trying to make me feel bad for being in my situation I'm in. This time next year. That's why I said, keep watching. Keep watching. I'm in a different place than I was this time last year. Yeah, I don't have those material things I had this time last year. I ain't got all the money I had last year. I ain't got the house that I was in, my apartment I was in last year. I ain't got all my things last year that I had last year. But my spirit, the things I know of the spiritual kingdom that I know this year, I didn't know this stuff last year. I didn't know this stuff last year. That's why this feeling is better than last year, even when I had all those material things, because what I know now, this is my birthright. This is like the keys to the kingdom for real, the keys to the gates of heaven. This stuff that I know now, this stuff can't even touch. That stuff can't even touch this. And I know this time next year, I'm going to have that stuff, plus this stuff, plus bringing this stuff, I'm going to be even deeper into this stuff. This is all I care about. A lot of people say follow your passion. My passion was to be successful, have my big house, have those things, take trips, give my kids a luxurious life, help people, give back, teach people how I did it. That's always been my goal, was to get successful and teach people how I did it. That's all. That was my passion. I always wanted to help people. But now I realize it's about purpose. And my purpose and my passion is still somewhat the same. It's still about helping people. But instead of trying to help all worried about the money, instead of teaching people how to make money, trying to put people in ways to make other ways to make money through doing this and doing that, instead of that, God had to redirect my path so I could teach purpose. Turn that pain. I had a lot of pain that I was dealing with that I never knew. that I never understood, never tapped into it, because all I did was masking it with work, with making money. Just hustle my way out of that pain. I'm a hustle, like a lot of people do. I'm mad and I'm angry. I'm just go work to release that pain. But you're not really releasing it. You're not really releasing it. You got all these spirits on you. Spirit of anger, spirit of depression, spirit of anxiety, spirit of rejection, spirit of abandonment, spirit of failure. Just spirit of the horror spirits, spirit of all these things. These are spirits that's been placed onto us. A lot of us been through some traumatic childhoods, and that's why now I'm here to tell people, turn your pain into purpose. This is why y'all see what I've been posting. My family mad at me because I'm turning my pain into purpose. The ones who cause me pain, I'm turning it into purpose. Turning that into profit. Pain to profit. Pain to profit. My pain that led me to being a prophet to the nations. Now I'm here to speak out to the nations about the real. This is why I say on my channel, I talk about the real. Everybody want to make it seem like it's this and this, that, why all these problems. Nobody talking about the roots, which is where we come from. Our first oppressors, our families that live in our households, that have done these things to me. This is why I speak about my experience on molestation, abuse. This is why I speak and tell my business. God told me, he gave me the courage. At first, I wasn't this courageous to get up here and tell this stuff. Even many of my friends, some of them same old girls I used to run with who watching me, they didn't even know this stuff. They learning more about me now through watching my channel than they knew about me when I was their friend. They didn't know all this stuff about me. My baby daddies didn't know all this stuff about me. A lot of them ain't know this stuff. My own mama didn't even know all this stuff about me. Y'all ain't know all this stuff I done been through. Y'all didn't know. Because like they say, you always so private. I don't let people get close to me. Because of my abandonment issues, I don't let people get close to me. But now, this is why I'm speaking out. And I'm convincing other of you who've been through things like me, worse than me, to speak out. Stop letting the devil keep you silent. That's what he wants to do, is keep you silent. Turn that pain into purpose. Turn that pain into purpose. Because I can't be the spokesperson for everybody, because I've been molested by another. When I was a child, I was molested by another child. Now I'm seeing more stuff. A lot of people been molested by other kids, their cousins. That may have been a year or two, a few years older than them. But some people out here have been molested by dads, uncles. I don't have that experience. So God needs other spokespeople. You here to speak up for the kingdom. You here to kick the devil back to the curb he came from. Send him back to the dirt. Put him in the dirt. Put him back into the dirt. That's his territory. The dirt. That's his lane. He come from the face of the deep. What did it say? First paragraph of that Bible. That's what I'm saying. And I keep saying I'm going to do a video on that, breaking down to y'all how scientific this thing is with God and the devil. This is scientific. But for right now, send him back down below. You come from the dirt, the darkness, the void. You come from down there. Send him back. He up here prowling the land, trying to see who he can destroy, trying to steal our innocence. Stolen. And then he got us out here facing all these abandonments, feeling of rejection, feeling used, being people pleasers, doing all of this stuff. He got us out here lost because he didn't get to us. That was his agenda, to get us. Let me get him. He was on a prowl to get all these kids. Because like I say all the time, if you attack the children, if you get them while they're young, the same way God say, train a child up in the way they should go. So when they're older, they won't depart from it. The devil believes in get the kids, steal their innocence while they're young. So that when they old, they have no sense of direction. It's the complete opposite of what God wants us to do. And the devil has gotten to so many of us. We don't got these behaviors for no reason. Everybody talks about they talk about the top layer of the stuff that's going on in our community. They don't talk about the root of where all this stuff stemmed from. They want to cover that stuff up. Let's sweep it under the rug. Let's sweep it under the rug. Like we do in this community. Sweep it under the blood. Sweep it under the rug. No, turn your pain into purpose. Stop letting the devil silence you. Because you don't want to embarrass these folks. When they embarrassed you, they made you feel less than. They took your innocence at 6, 7, 8, some of them 4 years old, 12, 14 years old. They took your innocence. They made you feel less than. That's why my mama mad. Now you mad, Miss Bo, but it was okay for you to give me all these feelings. Oh, now that I'm exposing you to the masses, now I'm such a bad person. I'm so bad. But it was okay when you did it. It was okay when you embarrassed me. As a child, like I didn't have no feelings. To feel like I'm alone as a child. We be feeling alone as a child who don't understand what's going on. We don't be understanding. We don't be understanding. All we know is the ones that were supposed to protect us are the ones that are hurting us. Who are we to run to? And they wonder why so many kids run to the streets. So many boys run to the streets. So many girls run to the streets, who then in turn run to the boys that's in the streets, looking at them for safety. And then they be the same ones that hurt her too. The guys, they looking for love from this girl out in the streets because mama can't love him and nurture them. They trying to get it from this girl. And then she turn around and backdoor them too, set them up, all this stuff. This stuff go deep. But everybody always want to talk about the surface level stuff. And that's why I'm here to talk about the root of how this Jezebel spirit gets placed onto us, how these Ahab spirits get placed onto us. This is where it come from. This is where it come from. And this is why God needs all of us, the black sheep, the scapegoats, the ones who he set apart on purpose. It's a reason you were set apart from your family. It's a reason you don't fit in with them. It's a reason you don't fit in with them friends. It's a reason. It's a reason you stay to yourself. It's a reason. God needs you. He needs you to turn your pain into purpose and stop letting the devil silence you. Stop letting the devil silence you. They want to silence us. God gave us a voice box for a reason. If he didn't want us to speak up, just like these men feel like women should be silent, if he felt like we should be silent, he would have never gave us a voice box. He would have never gave us a voice box. We would all be out here deaf. We would all be out here like dogs, able to just do and sit, do as you say, can't speak back. You don't. No, if you want a companion, just a companion, get you a dog. A human, a woman, she's supposed to have a say-so. She's supposed to have a voice. She's supposed to, or else God wouldn't have granted her with one. And this is why they mad. They mad that the women, the modern day women, are speaking up. We're not silenced. We're not following the devil's little Ponzi scheme that these religions then taught to silence, be quiet. Stay in a woman's place by shutting up. That's a dog. We're not dogs. We're not dogs. Dogs are dogs. They're the ones who do what you say. They're companions. They can't talk. They act like humans. They are similar to humans to a degree. They can't talk. God didn't give them a voice box. Imagine a dog, if a dog stood up on his legs. Really, that's why I like dogs, because that's why they're a human's companion, because they're perfect companions for humans. They just can't talk. We have a voice for a reason. Use your voice. Stop being afraid. Stop being embarrassed. That's what the devil wants you to feel. Embarrassed, ashamed, shame for the things you've done, for the things you've been through, for the things that was done to you. He wants you to be ashamed of things that was done to you. He wants you to feel like that. That's what the devil wants. God needs you to speak up, because he needs you to help the other people that have been through it like you, who's been scared to speak up, who afraid, who fighting all these internal battles. And people wonder why suicide is the way it is. Suicide comes from them fighting all these internal battles, can't speak it out, got nobody to talk to. That's where that stuff come from. They fighting stuff and don't got nobody to talk to, nobody that understands them. Because they don't even understand themselves. They don't even understand why they've been through some of the things they have been through. They can't even fathom it. They can't deal with it. They hold on to the guilt. They ready to kill themselves for something that somebody else did to them. You don't let nobody do that to you. This is why God needs us to get brave. He needs us to get with him, build a relationship with him so he can help us heal these things. Help us release these spirits of rejection. Don't be worried about what these people are going to say. When I first started getting on here talking, doing my YouTube, even before I really started talking, when I was just doing what I eat in a days, I'm like, just the nerves of being up here and the fact that many people can be able to possibly watch me, but I know God called me to be on here. Even still, sometimes I'm like, should I post this? I don't want to offend nobody. But people go and get offended. When it convicts their spirit, it gets you offended. It does. When it convicts you, you're going to be offended. And if it convicts you, that means that's something that you just have to work on and ask God to help you with it. That's all. You can't be running from the truth. But that's what the devil does, because the devil loves lies, loves stuff that make your ears tickle and feel good and hear anything you want to hear. That's what the devil loves. God is about truth, whether it hurts your feelings or not. The truth will piss you off first, but it will set you free. It will set you free. It'll piss you off first. But when you accept it and understand, okay, look, I got to change my mindset. There's something different I got to do. At that point, you're going to be willing to open up to the ideas of doing something different. Getting in and redirecting your path. Getting in a new direction. Getting back on your narrow path. But the devil wants to silence you. And this is why I say, if you're the black sheep of the family, if you're the scapegoat, the eyeballs out to see so many of these people, I found my community that I fit in with on YouTube, the other narcissistic survivors, to see so many of us come from these narcissistic relationships, narcissistic families, to see so many of us been in these narcissistic family dynamics, to see the people talking about Thanksgiving yesterday and how, like, it's just really telling. It's really telling. And this is why he need all of us scapegoats. But the thing is, many are called, but only few are chosen, because many of us who are called, we have a calling on our life. Us scapegoats, us black sheep, we have a calling on our life, but we're so afraid to answer the call because we're still so worried about what that person gonna say, that person gonna say, that person gonna say. All these people who are full of demons still, you worried about what they got to say. They can't even sleep good at night. And you worried about, well, why would I care about what you got to see? You can't even rest easy at night because you got so much wickedness on you that you fighting. But then you want me to be caring about your thoughts and opinions? What you need to be worried about is how you going to sleep good tonight. Because I sleep good every night. Why she got all this stuff to say about me. And that's the thing. And that's what make them mad, is when you don't. The best thing you can do is not to have that free spirit, to not care about what these people got to say. Because you only need validation from God. You trust in God. You don't need these relationships with all these people that you think you do. Especially if they're not in alignment with God. If they're not in alignment, they doing these things and still of the world, still so caring about what's going on in the world, the people of the world, what all the people opinions is of the world. You seek God's validation, not man. Not man. And there's so many people who need you. If you're the black sheep, you scared to speak up about something that you've been through, but it's on your heart. You're tired of fighting that fight inside, that internal fight, being in that dark room. You tired of being in that dark room. You tired of these thoughts that's going through your head that you just can't get out because you're afraid about what your friends going to say. You're afraid about letting your family down, even though they tear you down every chance they get anyway, but you're still afraid about embarrassing them. You feel like you owe them something. Because that's what a narcissistic family will make you do. Feel like you owe them. These narcissistic parents, they make you feel like you owe them something. You owe yourself and God. They were just the vessels used to get you here. So many people. This is why I speak up. Why I say what I say about the children. And why I'm like this with my children or monitoring them around other children, because I was the girl. I was the little girl that was molested by another child. I was that girl. I don't have the experience of being molested by an uncle or a father though, but some people out here may have that. And this is why God needs you to stop being afraid of that. Speak up on that, because you don't know how many other people you're going to help in the process. It's about helping, giving back, being of service to the younger generations, even some of the older generations, because they've been taught and conditioned, they've been programmed to settle and shut up, even if it's tearing their souls up inside. And this is why people be so mean for nothing, so mean. They be mean to you out. I be like, why are these people mean? But then you got people out in the public. Because I don't care. This social media stuff, everybody is a fake. It matters what goes on out in public. And even with that, you know, but when I go out in public to see people just be mean, and then some people are nice. They can't smile. They can't, you go take your kids to the park, everybody looking all stupid. But you got some of the people, like me, I'm speaking. Other people will speak. People can't even speak, can't even say hi. Like how you walk past a person and you can't even speak. You can't even at least smile. Can't say good morning. Can't, like, people are just weird and mean. Like, to me, that's weird behavior. You don't always have to be in a mood. I understand we all got our moods, and sometimes you don't feel like talking, because I don't be wanting to talk half the time. But I believe in just speaking. I don't want to sit there and hold conversation with people. But I do, hey, happy Thanksgiving. Good morning. Have a great day. Bye. But like I was saying, there's things that you have been through. I can't be the spokesperson for everybody and everything, because I haven't been through everything. But the things that I have been through, that's the things I speak up about and I vouch for. But there's some people out here who done been through things different than me. They may have been, like I said, they've been taken advantage of by their own fathers, their own stepfathers. They need to speak up and let the people know, because there's other people who've been through the same things that needs to see, dang, how did you get through it? How did you grow through it? How did you learn to release those spirits off you? How did you even learn to forgive that person? If you've forgiven your family for what they've done to you, they need to know, how did you work up to that point where you can do that? You know what I mean? You got to rekindle it with them. They need to know these things. That's why God needs you. So I said in that video the other day with the black sheep, message to the black sheep of the family, God needs you. He needs you. He needs you to speak up, because he got too many of the devil spokespeople out here working. They out here working. They out here working. The internet is flooded with the devil's children and the devil's people. We need more of God's people, God's children out here speaking up. We need God's people. We need the chosen ones. The chosen ones are the black sheep. You were set apart from your family for a reason. You were set apart from them for a reason, because you're God's child. Like when Mama told me yesterday in that video I just did for y'all yesterday, you God's child. Now, man, I've been God's child. And you knew that. And you still know that, which is why you're so offended by my relationship with him. You're so mad that I found God. You're so mad that I tapped into spirituality when you did everything to keep me from doing that. You never taught me about this stuff. On purpose. On purpose. But now they mad, y'all. They mad. And this is how you fight the devil back. All you gotta do is talk about God. That will make the devil flee. Start saying a Bible verse. That's your armor of God. Learn the word of God and learn the ways of God. Even just saying the word God. If you talk about God, people are going to flee. And if you talk about God and those people act weird, that's how you know who's the devil, who's not meant for you, who not meant to be around you. Those energies, those are the main ones that be plotting on you, trying to steal, kill, and destroy you like the devil does. Those are the people that you need to get away from anyway. So the best thing you can do is talk about God, so you can run the devils right on away. That's the best thing you can do. Stop being afraid to speak up. You ain't necessarily gotta be all, because sometimes I get I be talking my ish when I be reading these messages from my little devil person that birthed me. I be doing that, but you don't gotta do that. This is just part of my process of me releasing this stuff. You ain't gotta be mean like I'm being. You don't gotta be that. And I'm gonna eventually get to a place where I just be like, But right now, I ain't there yet. And sometimes that little part of me who believes in fighting fire with fire, But even still, I know God working on my behalf. I ain't gotta really even do all that because God, the Venetians is his. He got it. He got it. He got it. And that's why I ignore her. I ain't saying all that stuff. I'm not gonna send it to you, but I'm definitely gonna get up here and let the people know what I'm dealing with. And teach you how to push through, even when you got all these attacks on you, when you got people that's paying for private investigators, paying psychics, doing witchcraft, doing this voodoo stuff, doing all this stuff. When you got these people that's supposed to love you, doing these things to you, the ones that were supposed to love and protect you are the ones hurting you on purpose for their own gain. This is why isolation is required for elevation. You got to get rid of all the distractions. Get rid of the distractions. Anytime you working on something that fulfills you in the inside, your purpose is something you really intrigued in, that's beneficial to your brain, not just entertainment, but it teaches you something. You learning something from it, learning godly things about it, learning to become a better person. And you got people that's oftentimes trying to take you off of that. Hey, come do this, come do that. When you trying to sit here and read your books, you trying to do some homework, you trying to learn something new, you trying to save money, and they want you to come on, smoke this hookah, come do this, come do that. Those are people that you got to cut off. So, it gets really lonely. It will get lonely on this journey. But truly, it's the best thing for you. People so afraid to be alone. And being alone is how God really can get to you. That's the only way he can truly get you and awaken your soul, open your pineal gland. That's the only way. You have to isolate. Every isolation season I've been through is how I've been able to awaken. My eye, that third eye, your pineal gland, was able to open more. Because at first it was closed. Your third eye was closed. Now it just opens and opens and opens and opens. That's the only way he can get it to open. You have to isolate. And while you're in isolation, you have to feed your brain with the right things. With the right things. The right foods, the right information, the right things you're listening to, everything. We're being consumed every day. We're consuming things every day. We're being programmed every day. Whether it is if you're watching the news every day, you listening to certain types of music, you watching certain shows, you reading certain types of book, watching certain types of content, certain type of videos. You're being programmed every day by what you're watching. So if you're feeding your brain with only toxic stuff, with only talk about hearing somebody bash women or bash men, or it's going to start changing your mind. Because these things program us. This is why, for me, it started with me turning the TV off. I had to turn that TV off. Stop watching all those shows. Because it was taking me away from watching the material that is allowing me to learn about money. Because I told you, I started with me wanting to learn about money. Because I cared about becoming rich. That's all I cared about at first. I just want to become rich. I want to buy my house. I want to go off I want to be alone to myself, just with all my money and all my luxurious things. With my kids, being able to do that stuff. But I wasn't working on my soul at that time. I didn't realize all the spiritual things that I was battling. They didn't understand spirituality like that then. Because I was so consumed on I just want to get rich. That's what I cared about. I want to get rich. So I started cutting off the TV, watching only videos on YouTube about making money, watching only videos about what to do with the money. That's the only, and I still consume all those videos because I do care about that stuff still. But I also understand that now it's about purpose. Yeah, you want money because in the world we live in, yeah, you got to have money to thrive out here. To give your kids and yourself the great experiences in life. But what should it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his own soul? This is why God had to redirect my path because, yeah, I had started making money through my own ways without having to work for these jobs. I was making money doing this, doing that, and doing that. But was that stuff really satisfying my soul? It wasn't. That's why a lot of times we can get into relationships. We can think we have our dream career. We can be in these careers that we're making $100K and $500K. You might be making all this money in it. But something off, you still hate doing it every day. Your soul, something is still not it's not feeding that soul in you. And one thing about your soul wants what it wants. Just like the heart wants what it wants. It wants to feel fulfilled. And that's why sometimes you can have it all. Some people have the money, the house, the relationship, the material things. I got big watches, big chains and all this. But still, they go off and jump off a bridge. Because their soul is not being fulfilled. Because 9 times out of 10, they don't have a relationship with God. They haven't fully opened their pineal gland and tapped into spirituality, which is who we are. We're spiritual beings having a human existence, a human experience. That's all. Everything is spiritual. These animals out here, they're spiritual beings having animal experiences. You might come back in the form... I would hate to come back in the form of a horse. I was thinking about that yesterday when I drove past them horses. It was the cows. I'm like, they just there. They don't do nothing. I would hate to come back in that soul. When I come back, my soul leave this human experience, I want to come back as a butterfly. That's why I think I love butterflies or birds. Anything that can fly, can move around freely, can do what it wants. Like, I want to come back in that form. You know, but this video already long enough. Y'all, I'm gonna keep talking about this stuff, but wake up. God needs you. No matter what it is that you've been through. The one video I was watching yesterday, I told you I'd be watching like videos, learning about BPD because I had BPD. And the girl's boyfriend, she was saying that her boyfriend battled acne really bad. And he now has a YouTube channel teaching people how to become confident just from getting their acne together. That's why I said you take your pain points and turn it into purpose. If your skin issues was a big thing for you and you figure that stuff out, the one thing that caused you so much pain in life, you take those pain points and turn that into purpose so that can help your spirit. Teach those things. So he got a whole YouTube channel now teaching other people that have acne what he did, what he started feeding his body, getting the exercise, releasing certain stresses, because a lot of these things play a part into why our face breaks out, why everything is inside out. Everything that's on the outer form of our body, 9 times out of 10, it started in the inside, and now it's reflecting in the physical. So my video long enough for today, and I'll talk to you guys more and more about this stuff. But answer the call. Pick up the phone. Ring, ring, ring. Pick it up. For many are called, but few are chosen. Answer the call in your life. And it might not look like what everybody else's is. You're unique. You're set apart. This is why you don't fit in with everybody. You're not meant to. God purposely set you apart. Focus on you. Get with God so he can reveal to you what it is that you need to do. It might not be the same as your friends, your family. They might not even approve of it, but it doesn't matter. Because when you get on this journey and you get on this side, you're going to understand that none of those, like, that's just noise. just noise. That's just noise. You got to shut out that noise. Shut out that noise and focus so you can only listen to God's voice and not them devil's voices. Focus only on the good voice that you're hearing, not the negative voice that keep on pouring into your life, that's trying to convince you and steer you off from doing the things that you know you want to do, you're passionate about, the things that you want to heal from, those things that make your soul feel better, that let you rest easier, that releases that depression and anxiety. Those are the things you need to work on. Get that noise out your ear. Though that noise be the main one, the main noise that be keeping us with our anxiety and our depression and all these dang on mental illnesses that they throw out here. So, until the next time, you guys, have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Deuces.